Welcome back to V-Rule. I'm doing a giveaway. We're looking for 5,000 subscribers, at which point we're giving away this Brilliant Stars ETB along with 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. 6 winners overall. All you got to do is be a part of the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's very simple. I try to keep it simple. There's some more information in the description below, along with a little interesting thing of just asking you how your collection is going and growing. You have an opportunity to share your story with me here, and I can in turn bring that out to the channel. Things have been so busy in the hobby that I haven't had a chance to go through many of them. One has already been shared on the channel. You can go back and check that out, but I'd love to get to the rest of them. There's a lot of really cool and fun stories coming in, and it's fun to kind of live vicariously through you, and I want to put that out there. So bear with me as I reframe the channel a little bit and make sure I can get to that point. One last step for that 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Go to this video here. That's where I'm compiling all the comments for that specific giveaway. Today is Sunday, and believe it or not, with this booming market, some things are actually coming down in price. Let's dive in. We all know the Pokemon market is pretty out of control right now, but let's take a look at a few things that are actually coming down in price and maybe worth the pickup. I don't know if specifically Evolving Skies Booster Box is the place to start with that idea of maybe worth the pickup. However, it could be. There's no reason to think that someday, another 5 years from now or so, that this box wouldn't be worth $2,000 or something. So I'm not advocating to go spend $1,300 right now on a booster box. It may be something you're considering, and the future is impossible to tell. So play it smart. Be careful in your decision making. Big ticket items like this, especially if you're really stretching your budget to make it happen, you may want to reconsider how you could reallocate those dollars into many smaller things over time, and those could fluctuate, being a better positive in the long run. So you need to look at percentage gains over time. So just in a 3-month period here, we've seen a 46% increase from a $900 box to a $1,300 box. But we have seen a decrease over the past month or so. This was Prismatic Evolutions came out. Everybody wanted stuff. Everybody's evolution crazy. And we hit the height of Evolving Skies at almost $1,400, $1,382. And now it's come down to $1,315. And you can find some listings for it that are even better than that, just shy of better than that, but you need to take a look. There's a loose wrap on here. People are indicating some things, a small hole. You're going to save a little bit. Those, to be honest, when you're spending this kind of price, you want it to be premium, you want it to be amazing, so you might want to have an option to look at it. I appreciate the honesty and the pictures here that you get from these individual sellers. The fact that these others don't have pictures, I would shy away personally, and then I'd find somewhere else to maybe be purchasing this, or look at some trade with an LGS to make that purchase possible, something along those lines. This is one I'm going to spend the most time on. Sorry. It's the biggest ticket item. I think that's worth discussing. I don't know if it's the biggest ticket item. It might be. It might be. There's a lot of big ticket items these days, but they are coming down. EVEX is coming down a little bit. We had a peak of 243 not that long ago, just a few weeks ago, and now we're down to 232. So not a huge swing, but since its release, it's only going up 4.5%. So not a big dramatic change. And you can find them for even better than that. It's right on point with market, right? 232. Okay, we can find it at 219 and 225. So you can find it a little bit better than what market is saying here on the EVEX out of Prismatic Evolutions. Continuing on Pokemon's latest set, not for long though, because Journey Together is around the corner. The Vaporeon EX out of Prismatic Evolutions showing 354. That feels a little steep. Is that right? No, we were starting on this thing at 348, and actually it's come way down here to 295. Way down. I mean, that's a lot of money still, but considering where this price has gone for these cards, for the Evolutions, and I'm very surprised to see Vaporeon slip so much so fast. Same with Leafeon having quite a dip down here from Prismatic Evolutions. Great artwork, but it's been a steep decline from its peak when it came out on that pre-sale, well, and actually right at launch at 456. It's had a 22% loss. Now we're at 355 on the market. And the reality is, this is what you should see. You should see those FOMO prices. Then it slips down after the first month or so, and then things start to even out and the market decides. However, it has been so difficult to find product. Anytime it hits the shelves, it is scalped away. Hearing stories of collectors and other PokeTubers who go and they take a little bit and they leave it behind, and employees literally telling them they're the first person they've ever seen do that in the past like 4 months. That's pretty sad that that's the nature of the hobby, that you show up at a restock and it just gets cleared out. if somebody else is there before you. So kind of sad that we're seeing that. Sylveon EX out of Prismatic Evolutions, same kind of story here. FOMO price was $681 just over a month ago, and now we're down to $500, right on. And I think there's even some listings that might be a little bit better on that one. You might want to take a look. Pikachu EX, you know you're too involved with Pokemon when you have a dream about a specific card. Sorry, me, guilty. I had a dream about this Pikachu EX out of Surging Sparks. That's weird. That's really weird, and it just hit me that that actually happened. So, funky times we're living in when your life is too involved in this stuff. Just a little bit ago here, about a little bit less than a month, we were at 487, another peak, but stepping its way kind of downward. And now we're at 454 for the market value on this one. This one actually looks like a pretty steady decline that we may see a little bit better price on this one over time, maybe as the next couple sets come out, or it will be leveling off. And to be honest, this is not an insane price anymore because of Prismatic Evolutions and what those evolutions have done to us. Terrapagos, I thought we were done with this one. This one is peaking out, almost getting to $90 here. It was 87 just in the beginning, mid-January, somewhere like that. And it's really come over this slope, coming down quite a bit to 77. And in the past 3 months, this is actually almost a half-point decrease. $77 on this one. I am eyeballing this one like a hawk. I'm going to be looking through different listings on eBay to see if I can find something with good quality pictures, showing edges and corners, things like that, the spacing, and keeping in that price range. This is kind of the price point that I was really willing, getting to that $70 mark, and it might be time for buying. So just so you know where my head's at, this one's been out a while, and I'm looking at it and watching it, and it has been decreasing, and I did miss the low point of that 73, but we are coming back around to it in that $77 range, and just in the last month it looks pretty severe, but in the past 6 months it looks like it's been kind of a little bit of a correction here where we're just trying to come back to reality. Seeing a lot of these where we're finding that mid to late January spike, and then we're coming down, and I think it's that we were all riding the wave of Prismatic. And I don't know about you, but when I went out hunting for Prismatic, not that I really intended to, but then I ended up doing it anyways, I started looking for stuff, and there was a massive temptation to pick up anything I could find. If I saw some other Pokemon product, there was a temptation to pick it up because it would have felt like a tiny win. But I know deep down inside, when I got home, or I spent that money, it wouldn't be a win. It would be a consolation prize, and an expensive one at that, to pick up anything other than what I was truly after. So I held off. However, I do understand that feeling, and I think that's what happens on these single cards that we've been looking at. For instance, this Houndoom out of Shrouded Fable is telling the same story. A nice little spike coming towards the end of January. I feel like with the fact that so many people skipped on this set, there's just been a rush to wave because there's been some availability on the product. Great for the different online sellers who picked up all this product knowing that Shrouded was not looking good going into it, but they picked it up anyways to help secure future allocations of other sets like Surging Sparks. And they're holding on to it, but then they can sell it off now that the price is actually stabilized a little bit. I can't find much Shrouded Fable for less than MSRP. It's pretty much MSRP or bust. There was a nice little pop-up for $40 ETBs on Target not too long ago, and then that came back to reality and where it's MSRP. If they're available at all, they might have sold out. The Houndoom, though, one of the singles that has been really just climbing out of nowhere. In the past 3 months, it went from $21 up to $54. Now we're coming down a little bit of a correction. It's probably a correction. I don't know if this is really a market slip or if it's just a correction for the fact that we spiked so fast and so high to $54. Now we're at $46, so an $8 swing. And we'll see where that goes. Similar on the Persian from Shrouded Fable. It's been going up and up. Why are we under lightly played? I thought we had the Near Mint, which had a similar story. There we are. Same kind of thing. $22 card 3 months ago. Spike up here in the very early days of February up to $78, and now we've come down to 60, almost 61. 18-point swing, $18 swing rather. Sorry, not 18 point. $18 swing on this card, and this has become the chase of the set via the price. So we had that Cassiopeia that was crazy $200 FOMO price. So glad that I didn't follow that train. It was really a cool artwork, but I didn't think it was going to be a $200 card. And to know where things were at the time, the only thing we had that was crazy price right out the gate was the Greninja GX out of Twilight Masquerade, and nothing else played that game where it stayed there or climbed even higher. So there was no reason to believe that those FOMO prices would stick, and we were right. Then we get into Surging Sparks after Stellar Crown came out, and everything changed. those FOMO prices stuck on a lot of them. Whether or not people just don't want to be out that money, or the hype is so high that enough people are buying into it at those FOMO prices, I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we are in a boom market. Pokemon's going crazy here. They're doing a lot of good stuff. Chansey out of Twilight Masquerade, speaking of the set that changed it all for the market prediction scale that I thought we were all riding. We had 3 months ago, is this 3 months? Yeah, 3 months ago, we were at a $9 card. Now we're all the way up to a $25 card, but this is down from its peak of almost a $30 card here. Again, that mid to late January coming in crazy on some of these cards, and we're kind of trying to come back to reality. I don't think that's indicative of the entire Pokemon hobby as a whole, that it's all coming back down to reality, but this is the trend on the few things that I was able to pull up that are trending down. Raging Bolt EX out of Temporal Forces. We've been steadily coming down. You can look at these peaks and how they're coming down a little bit, but we're currently sitting under 100 at $98. Iron Crown out of Temporal Forest. Iron Crown EX. We had a peak just not too long ago. This was December, of $78, and now we've come down to $64. It's actually a little bit of a bump up from its low point of 60, but this has all been a downward trend, and we'll have to see where that one goes. It came out in the FOMO price of about $60, so we've gone up and we've come back down to reality. Kind of nice to see on certain cards like that. Walking Wake EX out of Temporal Forces. This is probably one of the most visually interesting sets that is financially achievable these days, I'd say. If you're looking to complete anything or master anything, Temporal Forces might be worth the look. $67 peak, and now we're down to 62, but this actually had a low of 60. Not a big swing up here on the last little bit, but we are in these downward trends. Again, if you watch these peaks here, you can see it's kind of working its way down overall. Mew EX out of Paldean Fates. Now, I knew that $416 price tag was just too high, but it's not that far off. It's only come down to $393 on the near mint condition there for the market. You could find a little bit better listings. I thought I've seen stuff, yeah, $350, $360, $375. So the market chart has a little bit of catching up to. Maybe the sales aren't happening, but definitely this one was a little bit too crazy at $400, in my opinion. Similar, Charizard EX out of Paldean Fates. Cool artwork, shiny Charizard's got the crown, all the good stuff that we like and have hated and now learned to love. I don't know where it's at with those crowns. 220 was the peak, and this was early February, and now we're coming back down to 203. But man, 3 months ago, we were $140 on this card. Pretty insane how fast things change. One thing that's going to remain constant, that's the dollar value on this one here. It's going to be $0 cost to you. The value is actually pretty good, but the ETB I'm giving away from Brilliant Stars for 5,000 subscribers, I'm also going to be giving away 5 Pokemon mystery card lots, and it's not going to cost you a penny, but it's going to be a great sign to the channel of the kind of support we're getting once we reach that 5,000 subscribers. So consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and leave a comment down below. It really helps the algorithm. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace.